been fired. In order to examine which Democrat claims are cynical political fabrications and which are hysterical conspiracy theories, and which are cynical political hysterical theories about fabricated conspiracies, let's examine which investigations might be affected. The FBI, as we know, is investigating whether the Trump campaign colluded with the Russians to expose the Democrats' emails. The Senate, meanwhile, is investigating whether the Obama administration investigated the Trump campaign for the collusion that the FBI is investigating. The Judiciary Committee is investigating why the Attorney General failed to investigate Hillary Clinton's attempt to avoid the FBI investigation into the Attorney General's failure to investigate her emails to the Democrats, which the Russians hacked in an attempt to interfere with our election, which the Senate is investigating in an attempt to find out if the Trump campaign colluded with the Russians' hack of the Democrats' emails, which the FBI is investigating to see whether the Obama administration was investigating the Trump campaign. The House Intelligence Committee is investigating whether the House Intelligence Committee overstepped its bounds in investigating the Obama administration's attempts to use the intelligence community to investigate the Trump campaign's collusion with the Russian hack into the Democrats' emails, which the FBI is investigating in order to find out whether the House Intelligence Committee overstepped its bounds in investigating the Obama administration. The head of the House committee, meanwhile, has stepped down pending an investigation. At the same time, many in the press are investigating why the press never investigated the Obama administration's investigation of the Trump campaign, but continues to investigate the Trump administration's investigation into whether the Obama administration investigated the Trump campaign, which is now under investigation in the Senate, causing several investigators to call for an independent investigation into the House investigation of the Senate investigation of the Trump administration, which is meanwhile investigating the Obama administration, which was on a yacht in the Bahamas at the time, dancing to the musical stylings of Drake's Hotline Bling. Mr. Drake is not currently under investigation. Now, to be clear, an independent investigation into the Senate investigation of the House investigation of the Obama investigation into the Trump campaign could expand the investigation into an investigation of Russia's investigation of the emails that were under investigation by the FBI, which was in turn under investigation by the NSA, who have been investigating everybody in a surveillance program that's still under investigation. If that were to happen, there would no doubt be calls for a full investigation into all the other investigations. So it's easy to see that the firing of James Comey will have to be investigated to ensure it doesn't in any way curtail the important business of government, which is investigating. Just thank God the government's not actually governing. Then we'd all be in real trouble. Trigger warning, I'm Andrew Klavan, and this is The Andrew Klavan Show.
I know that's a little old, but I think they're still investigating that.
Calling all stations. Clear the air lanes. Clear all air lanes for the big broadcast.
Which is code for let's sweep it under the rug and hope the public gets distracted by a big basketball tournament or something. It's happy hour. We love Mondays. David Blackman joins us very shortly. Pamela Dubuque is here, my incredible co-host, and I'm Greg Boudel.
And here they are.
I don't take myself that seriously. And I wore blue today. What this morning was one of the weirdest mornings for news I've ever seen. First of all, we had the surreal accident at LaGuardia Airport. Mm-hmm. Now, we have had tons of close calls. Again, the ugly shadow of DEI comes up because we've had, and they downplay this, they hide this stuff. But there have been all kinds of bumps, planes actually
near
bumping
misses,
uglies, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. But there was no coming back from last night. A fire truck on the runway, T-boning basically the airplane as it was coming in. And I just posted the video a little while back, and it's incredible. Who is guiding the planes at these airports? It's just another reason never to fly, not to mention the fact that I'm trying to watch my mouth. The Democrats, they don't care about you. Are you kidding? We can't have DHS. We can't have there's a headline on the paper, another student murdered by an illegal immigrant.
Yep.
But let's worry about Rebecca Good, who can't keep her car out of the way when it makes me crazy. And then when I walked in this morning, I'm greeted with the joyous news on Fox Business, the market futures are down 400 points. This has got to change soon. This war, this conflict, it's a war. It's got to end on the timetable that Trump established, or he's going to be toast. And the Republicans will be the first to line up to get him because they want to keep their jobs. And then, in the span of like 20 minutes, 30 minutes at the most, the market goes from 400 down to 1,200 plus up. Well, maybe the ticker was a little slow or something like that. Sure enough, to the rescue, galloping into the white horse, David Blackman published a blog explaining why all of a sudden there's been this huge reverse, and it had to do with a Trump Truth Social post on progress. So we're going to talk about all of this with David. There's a ton, as there always is. And at least we can take heart in one thing. The Democrats have done nothing. They have no alternative ideas. They have one thing. We hate Trump obsessively. It's a mental illness, the TDS. In fact, my favorite clip from last week was John Fetterman saying, who's leading the party? TDS is leading the party. So I don't know that helps them. But people want results. And maybe today the results started to turn to the positive. I don't know about you, but my confidence in Iran needing a few days to come to an agreement, I'm not real sure about that. But this cannot become a prolonged thing. It just can't.
It can't.
But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. And how much punishment? All we've heard about thousands of missiles being fired into this country, and they're still going? Maybe they were a little further along in their military, thanks to the money that Obama and Biden so generously handed them. Those two a-holes belong in jail, too, even if Joe doesn't know what a jail is anymore. All right, I'm done ranting. I must become civil. I would like to encourage guys. I went out. It was warm today. We're not quite used to the mid-80s, but I went out and had a great bike ride in between shows, got a quick nap. I give all the credit for that energy to keep up with this. Well, it's basically like a 14-hour day from beginning to end. To Montgomery Men's Health. I took that $99 test a couple of years back. My T level was low, and getting it adjusted solved a lot of issues for me because it's a lot more than libido and everything that goes with that. It's about energy. It's about good sleep and rejuvenating. And it's amazing, the process. Wow. I have energy for this. I'm not waiting. You keep waiting for that old sluggishness to kick in, and it doesn't because it's where it needs to be. And it can get low for any number of reasons, and it can cause you to gain weight even while you're exercising. So get that number and get it fixed at Montgomery Men's Health if it's not where it needs to be. And if you have issues with ED or PE, and those are very common, especially over age 40, but they happen to men of all ages, they've got solutions there that go beyond the realm of pills. There's all kinds of technology out there that's far more effective. Seriously. Look into it. They're not going to knock on your door, and it's a great place with a really awesome staff. 334-440-3663 is the number, or visit them online at MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com. Skipper's got traffic, and we're back with David Blackman next.
Well, we've had a barrage of accidents over the midday hours, and we still have one working. Highway 14 in Millbrook. It is just down from the intersection with the McDonald's and Hardee's at Alabama 143. If you're headed towards Prattville, it's going to be in your lane. They are wrapping up there. In Montgomery, traffic is light to moderate. Be safe out there this afternoon. We will keep you updated when accidents happen. Haynes Ambulance, there for you both on the ground and in the air. From a simple patient transport to life or death situations, Haynes is ready at a moment's notice. Buckle up, Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch Traffic.
Welcome to Eclectic Coins, Montgomery's largest coin dealer, specializing in buying and selling investment-grade gold and silver coins. And they have a large selection of rare coins and coins from around the world. Visit them at 543 Northeastern Boulevard or on the web at eclecticcoins.com. Eclectic Coins, where collectors who know go.
Attention Montgomery business owners. Want more customers without guessing how to reach them? Blue Water Broadcasting isn't just radio. We're your full-service digital marketing partner. From smart social media campaigns to targeted display ads, to SEO that actually works. We help your business get seen by the right people at the right time. Whether you're a local shop, a growing brand, or an established company, our team can build a custom strategy that drives real results on air and online. Ready to grow? Call Blue Water Broadcasting today or visit bluewaterbroadcasting.com. Blue Water Broadcasting, your audience is waiting.
Live local talk. The River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
As we get ready to explore the never-ending American idiocracy, let's begin with Jeff Bezos, who is headed up to here with March Madness and the distraction it's become for Amazon employees.
I'm Jeff Bezos, and I'm a little hot under the collar looking at these crap productivity numbers at Amazon. They are the result of this basketball bracket buffoonery. Everyone's watching the games on their phones instead of working. This will not stand. So to my employees, I say, I hope you enjoyed your little hoop dreams, because I dream of something else. The day when I replace you all with robots and drones. So until then, the only buzzer beaters you should concern yourselves with is beating your delivery quotas before the clock buzzes. Having human employees, that's the real March Madness. You see what now get back to work.
Boilermakers, Blue Devils, Cyclones, Reds, Crimson Tide, Spartans, Cougars, Longhorns, Fighting Illini, Wolverines, Volunteers, Razorbacks, Huskies, Huskers, Hawkeyes, and Wildcats. Your picks are the worst I've ever seen. Your bracket looks redacted like an email from Epstein. The Sweet 16.
Did I hear the Crimson Tide in the Sweet 16?
Yep.
I really don't care about basketball, but I do care that the Tide has advanced. So that's kind of cool.
Florida lost.
Oh,
They won last year, the whole thing.
Florida
They
did?
lost.
And they're out, huh? Auburn weren't they in the Final Four a couple of years ago? Last year? I can't remember. Time is going by so damn fast.
They did very well last year.
If I'm not mistaken, they were in the Final Four, if not last year, the year before. And then Bruce Pearl retired. And didn't his son take over that program? Well, big shoes to fill.
David said he didn't get the link, so I just emailed it to him again.
Okay. So we should be seeing him join us. By the way, all the market activity will be analyzed for us by Brent McDonald at 5:15. He's with Invista Advisors. You want somebody that can watch out for you if you want to invest some money, have somebody who will make sure it does what you want it to do in spite of these day-to-day fluctuations and things. I don't worry. I got an account there. He has done so well for me. It's not a lot of money. I can't retire on it. But if I get into some kind of trouble, well, not that kind of trouble, it's there if I need it. And if I should kick off, it's a nice little check for Goose. That's very dark, but it's the truth. 387-0094 to catch up with Brant and the team at Invista Advisors. May as well ask now, are you able to do till 6 today, or do you have to?
I have to leave early.
I
know.
I knew I couldn't get that lucky. Too many good things happen on one
Sorry.
day. No.
And I just have 1,000 things. Joey just asked me how I'm doing it as we passed each other in the hallway, and I was like, either looking into witness protection program or thinking about faking my own death.
Look, if you do the latter, come up with a name that we can use on the air, and we'll sneak you in here.
I'll come up with a good
You can't
disguise.
leave me. No, you can't leave me. This is a radio marriage.
I know.
And I had dinner
Till
with
death do us part.
I had dinner with the boss. I said, man, Star is Born in the afternoon. We got a good thing going.
No, I think once, all these changes going on, once that gets all, I think mid-June, I can relax.
Speaking of which, I need to make an appointment to get up to
Yeah, you do.
see you. Maybe this weekend. I know.
I have to bring Max home this weekend. Yeah, he's going back to his dad's. I know.
Let's face it, I just don't fit into your life anymore the way I used to.
I'm trying.
Yeah, well, it's
Trying. I need a
nothing.
clone.
I mean,
That's the
it's,
third option. I got to contact Elon, tell him to work on that for me.
yeah, well, that'll be happening before you know it. I need an assistant, so maybe we can get a 2-for-1 deal.
Where's David?
I don't know. Let's see if we have a email. What I might do, I mean, we could take the bottom of the hour break a little early. Okay, there's the thing. I don't have a link.
Mm-hmm. And he
called us y'all.
I know. He commented on the stream, too, and I said, I just sent it to you again.
Huh.
Mark Cumby thinks I'm drinking a beer. It's Dad's root beer. I don't drink alcohol.
You know, after I went to rehab, I was watched very carefully by the radio station and by my coworkers who did not believe I would stay sober.
Mm-hmm.
One day, I get called into the boss's office, and I'm accused of drinking in the station.
Ooh.
I went ballistic, and then finally figured out who said what and when. I had been in the building at night working on some stuff, and I had a Diet Coke can in my hand, which can look like a Budweiser or something.
Sure.
That really made me mad.
The Coors Light can is silver. If you cover up the logo and just see the top, sure.
Yeah, that's it. Look at big hands. So yeah, that's what it was. But I will never forget how angry I was, or frustrated, like I am right now.
I know. It's
Well-
a Monday. You know what I had to do this morning as soon as I got into Prattville to work? One of my employees called and her car had died. So I had to drive to Starbucks where her car had just stopped driving as she was pulling out of a parking spot and push her car back into the parking spot and then give her a ride to work.
That's the tough thing about having a business and taking care of the people that work for you.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, you can always call Jay Quellen.
I do.
Me too. Tell you what, she's a phenomenal lawyer. So is Dana Delkin Tomlinson, attorneys at law. But you need somebody sometimes who loves you enough or cares about you enough to give you just a gentle kick in the keister so you can, you know, because sometimes we need that level of honesty. And it's worked for so many clients here in the River Region. Very experienced firm. And not just in matters of divorce or somebody from the past coming back trying to change an existing agreement, somebody violating an agreement. Now, you can get angry and you can make threats and do all kinds of things that will ultimately put you in jail. Or you can have a great attorney look out for your best interest and let them be the bad guy. That's an oversimplification, but that kind of is what it comes down to. Some of us are the worst when it comes to looking out for our own best interest. So for those kinds of family crises, remember the firm Delk and Tomlinson, 819-4810 in the 334 area code. People who can say, okay, here's the situation, here's where you want to go, and here's how we're going to get there. Oh, and by the way, we're going to get there. So important. They do wills, help with adoptions. Anytime the government tries to stick a leg out in front of you when you're trying to do the right thing, get the best help available. That's Delkin Tomlinson, attorneys at law, or visit them online at thealabamafamilylawyers.com.
Representation is made that the quality of legal services performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
All right, we normally don't cram the breaks too close together, but we're going to do it while we figure out why we're having trouble connecting with David Black.
Well, at the moment, very busy all over the Montgomery area. We are not hearing of any real issues at the moment. Up in Millbrook, Highway 14 right at 143, and this is going to be right at that intersection with the McDonald's and Hardee's right across the street from one another. We had one there that was clearing a few minutes ago. Could be out of the way now, but use caution if you're in the area. And please be safe out there. Not hearing of any issues with Wetumpka or Prattville at the moment. Get ready for spring at Premier Place. Shop Bath & Body Works, Cuts by Us, Hourglass Optical, Faro Vape and Phone Repair, and more. Premier Place in Prattville, another great McClinton & Company development. Buckle up, Wendell J. Montgomery, Skywatch Traffic.
Do you suffer every time you try to wear good-looking shoes, but you don't want to wear ugly shoes just because they're comfortable? The Good Feet store wants to help you wear heels, boots, and dress shoes again in comfort.
We're located at 7341 East Chase Parkway in the shops at East Chase. Now hiring. The employees of Adams Drugs would like to thank you for trusting us with your health care in 2025. We look forward to serving you and your family in 2026. You will continue to enjoy the same services such as immunizations, compounding, medication therapy management, delivery service, and wellness clinics, to name a few. Looking for that perfect gift for a loved one? Visit our Emily B. gift shop and find everything from Tyler candles to Scout bags. Gift wrapping is available. If you have not visited Adams Drugs and experienced the award-winning customer service, we ask you to consider us for your prescription care in 2026. We have 12 convenient locations to serve you in the River Region. 8 in Montgomery, 1 in Wetumpka, Prattville, Millbrook, and Pine Level, Marbury. Please find us at adamsdrugs.net for the location that is nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local, independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Behind every clean lobby, every polished boardroom, every safe, spotless workplace, there's Janie King Franchise Center, who takes pride in making it happen. These are your neighbors, people who live here, work here, and care about the businesses that shape our community. They show up, they follow through, and they make sure your facility is ready for the day, every day. That's why companies across the community trust Janie King as their local cleaning partner. Visit JannieKingCleans.com today.
News is brought to you by Budget Floors and More, your new best friend.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. A Montgomery teenager was arrested Saturday in connection to Millbrook vehicle break-ins. 19-year-old Kenneth Grades is the third suspect charged in connection to multiple vehicles being broken into during softball tournaments at Mill Creek Park in November. Graves faces additional charges stemming from an armed robbery in Millbrook earlier this month. Montgomery police are investigating a weekend shooting that left one person dead and 2 others injured. The shooting happened early Saturday morning just off Calmar Drive in the 3400 block of South Watermill Road. All 3 victims showed up at the emergency room where one woman died from gunshot wounds. Another woman and a man remain hospitalized, condition unknown. Montgomery Police Chief Jim Grabois says the department is seeing measurable progress in public safety efforts. At his Friday news conference, Grabois said MPD has arrested 131 people on felony charges so far this year. Grabois stated violent crime is down 16%, robberies are down 38%, and property crimes are down 17% so far this year. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
Budget Floors and More has the best prices. Carpet as low as 69 cents per square foot. LVP starting at $1.29 a square foot. Sheet vinyl as low as 65 cents per square foot. And the lowest prices on flooring installation supplies. Budget Floors and More across from Delreta Publix.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
Weather, a service of H&H Carpets, where right now, get a load of this, listen close, you get a house full of carpet for $19.95 installed. Unbelievable. They're located at 6450 Atlanta Highway, just across from Walmart.
Rich Thomas weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Weak cool front moving through the area today, so tonight will be a little cooler. Partly cloudy, overnight low temperature falls to about 50. Tuesday will be noticeably cooler with a high temperature only in the lower 70s and a breezy day. There could be an isolated shower in the area somewhere on Tuesday night. Wednesday, sunshine, 71. Back to the low to mid 80s on Thursday and Friday before another weekend cool down. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
CB&S Bank, serving families and communities since 1906. Proud to be named 16th best performing bank nationally in their asset category by American Banker. Learn more at cbsbank.com. CB&S Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
On FM, on your smartphone, and online, the River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Your March Madness bracket is busted. But now, You can suck at gambling all over again with Draft Duel's Sweet 16 Challenge. It's a fresh start to losing even more money. Just pick the remaining 15 games for your chance to have a second busted bracket. Double the financial fiasco. Double the heart palpitations when you don't have any money left over for rent. Or you could win big, just like you thought you would last week. Remember when you used to wonder why sports gambling was illegal? You won't after this weekend when the teams in your Final Four are colored red, just like your bank account balance. Draft Duel Sweet 16 Challenge. Do you have a gambling problem? Bet on it.
As the 21st century began, natural selection, the process by which the strongest, the smartest, the fastest reproduced in greater numbers than the rest, a process which had once favored the noblest traits of man, now began to favor different traits. A dumbing down. How did this happen? Evolution does not necessarily reward intelligence. With no natural predators to thin the herd, it began to simply reward those who reproduced the most and left the intelligent to become an endangered species.
David Blackman and Greg Budell present Tales of the Idiocracy.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
At last, he is able to join us. Live from Texas, somewhere in Texas. We're not really sure. I don't even have the last 4 digits of his zip code, to be frank. But he is, in my opinion, America's savviest and timeliest, and that's a new word for today, political blogger, oil industry expert, all-around good guy, and hopeless Dodger fan, David Blackman!
Yeah, finally, somebody in the comment section said I need a better email address. I tend to agree.
That one has never failed us, though.
I know,
It just,
it's weird.
I don't know.
It's
what
not
it was
even in
doing
my
today.
junk folder. I don't even understand what's going on.
Well, let's go straight to the big story today. There's a group in Minneapolis of elderly folks who finally got a law passed that allows them to have happy hour in the assisted living home.
Share it.
Ah!
Of mind that we can enjoy life but not be out slipping on the ice to stop and get our box of wine. This amendment is simply putting into law what many people assume is already allowed. Happy hour at the place where we call home.
Was there anything else you wanted to add to that? Okay. So now
Everybody
Grandma...
else can have happy hour at their home. Why can't they?
Right.
I don't know. I would think they would give... Look, if you've lived a life and you're in a position where you need a little help, what's wrong with a little booze?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, as long as you don't have a problem,
But we cover all the big news. And I kind of felt like having a cocktail myself this morning because I thought I'm hallucinating. Somebody slipped acid into my coffee because I came in, as I always do. I was here around 5, come into the studio about 5:45, and I'm looking at Fox Business, and the Dow futures are down 400. And I think, well, this is great. This is just what we need. More loss in the market and no end to this Iran thing. I look up a few minutes later, and it's up by 1,200 points. So I said, either that thing was stuck and hadn't been updated, or something big just happened. So then I check my email, and guess who I get an email from? And this is why you should subscribe to davidblackman.substack.com, because in 1 minute, and I was able to read it on the air, I was able to, without giving credit to David, of course. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. I like to sound smart, but, I am honest most of the time. I understood what was going on, and it finished up. It wasn't a temporary thing, David. Give us the inside scoop on all this whole day. It's just, and do we trust this good news?
Well, first of all, when you see something like that happening in the market, the safest thing to do is go to Truth Social and check Donald Trump's account, because chances are he just posted something that moved the market.
That's amazing.
I had exactly the experience you had, and I thought, oh, this has got to be something huge. So I went over there, and there's that note. talking about how his people have been having talks with somebody who's in the leadership over in Iran, and some of the few that are still alive, and so there were talks going on, but immediately after I posted that, I started getting comments and email from people saying, "Oh, he's just moving the market. There's what's going on." And then, within about 30 minutes, Mark, oh my God. Anyway, reporters started verifying the fact that there were talks going on. And so, yeah, I mean, they've been having some talks with the people in Iran. I think it's going to end up in a deal? No, I don't. But it kind of takes the tension out of the market for a few days. But I just don't think Iran's leadership is going to be willing to give up their aspirations for a nuclear bomb, and we can't allow it. And so we'll have a few days off from carnage on the market, and then start bombing again. So that's how I think it's going to play out.
God, it breaks my heart. I understand it, but it breaks my heart. I've got one gas station. It's a Chevron, and they're always a little bit more expensive than, like Circle K and the place that give you these little deals. But it's peaked at $3.75 a gallon, and I hate that because we were watching it decline almost from the day he was inaugurated. And people are people. I mean, there's a lot of people that righteously believe that Iran is a threat to the world, not just us, but to the entire world. And until we get something reasonable happening there, maybe we don't. Can we take the Strait and secure that without necessarily having a regime change, or is that an impractical idea? I'm not that bright, David.
How. I mean, I guess they could try that, but I don't really see how that works. If you leave the Islamic regime in place, nothing's going to change. As long as those people are in control of the country, they're crazy. They're lunatics.
How many of them have to die before they get the message that we'll take all of you? So you can all have your virgins.
I'll be honest with you. I'm praying the president doesn't make any kind of a deal with them, because we need to get rid of them.
Yeah.
47 years is enough for them to be holding this hammer over the whole world. I mean, they proved their threat by lobbing those 2 missiles at Diego Garcia Saturday. Intermediate ballistic missiles. And we know for sure that they're working on ICBMs to carry their payloads. And once they have that, then it's all over. So you can't allow it to happen. All these other presidents before Trump, from starting with Jimmy Carter and including Ronald Reagan, just let that situation fester and said, "Oh, gee, maybe we ought to do something about it. But it's, I'm 6 years in, let the next guy deal with it." And for 47 years, we let these people wreak havoc on the whole world. And it's, Trump, this is the only president we're ever going to have who's got the will to do this. And I just don't, I'm not in favor of stopping until it's done. I mean, and, that's really whatever it takes. Now that you're this far in, you need to finish the job.
I subscribe to this great blog that makes me feel like I know what I'm talking about.
This guy's?
David Blackman.
Mm-hmm.
I loved, you included that Victor Davis Hanson clip. Please share on that for a moment.
Wow.
That was great.
Yeah.
Because I love the guy. And he apparently appears healthy. For a while there, I was kind of worried about him.
Right. He had, lung cancer, had part of a lung removed, but he seems to be well recovered.
Amazingly so.
Yeah. And he's older than I am, which, that's a big deal. Well,
there's very few people that have lived to our age.
Oy!
My goodness.
So I posted that video with a little summary of it on X as well as my Substack, and 2.4 million views so far on my X account, which is way more than I've ever gotten on any post.
Wow.
Victor Davis Hanson is someone that people really respect.
Yes.
And he's written books about these things, how wars go and how they end. And nobody really in our country is a better person to be speaking on it. And so, yeah, when I saw that clip, and he just kind of summed it all up in about a minute and 15 seconds and said all the signs are pointing to, the United States is achieving all its goals and is going to end up changing this regime. So I didn't
Is that
really,
because other countries are buying in now, or?
well, part of it. I mean, the Europeans, of course, they hesitate and they never want to get involved in anything until they're sure they're going to be on the winning side. And now we see them, starting slowly to offer logistical help and military help. And we need to give a shout out to the Czech Republic, which is a landlocked country that has a single naval destroyer. That's their Navy. And they're sending that damn destroyer. In fact, it's already gone through the Suez Canal into the theater to help free the Strait of Hormuz. So, they were the first European country to actually pony up to the table and man up and decide to pitch in and help. So we do have one ally, one real ally in the European Union, and that's the Czech Republic. I'm not sure we have any others at this point, which is really a terrible situation.
What happened to them? Short memories. It's so annoying.
Yeah, well, and communists. I mean, they're all run by communists now. The France is, the UK, Germany. I mean, they're all a bunch of communist countries now. They're worse than Russia. I mean, they're like the new Soviet Union. They should rename the European Union the Euro-Soviet Union, because that's what it's turning into. And so our society and our government really is not compatible to be allied with communist countries, because they don't share any of our values anymore. They don't value our freedoms, and they're not going to be on our side in conflicts like this. What this has proven more than anything, I think, this particular episode, and Trump did it intentionally. He wanted to, by asking them for support to send their navies to pitch in on this effort to reopen. He did that intentionally to demonstrate that none of those countries are going to be there to help the United States when the United States really needs it. And while as part of NATO, we would always, as a country, live up to our obligations under NATO, we could never count on these European countries to live up to their obligations. Now, Japan is a different story with this lady leading that country. She understands what an important ally the United States is. And so we're entering a new phase of the world, folks, where our natural allies as a country are countries like Japan and India and the Philippines and Indonesia and Saudi Arabia, whether you like that or not. But the Great Britain, France, Germany, Belgium, these left-wing European countries, these are no longer our ally countries anymore. They're not our natural allies, and that's going to be a difficult period of time adjusting to all of that.
It's beyond frustrating, because they're a threat to everybody. With the Strait of Hormuz closed, that affects just about every country on the planet. And I don't mean to zigzag here, but before I forget about it, because I'm almost as old as you are. Cuba, isn't it like blackout dark there?
Yes. Well, they got power turned back on to some of their government buildings late yesterday. I don't know if it's still on, but otherwise the whole island's in a blackout.
Is there a risk of a military invasion there from Russia, their old buddy?
I don't think Russia can get through the blockade, the naval presence that we have surrounding the island. I don't imagine we would let them. Here's an interesting situation. Russia does have an oil tanker filled with oil, headed supposedly for Cuba, that's supposed to arrive sometime late this week. And it's going to be really interesting to see whether our Navy and Coast Guard allow that ship to go through and land in Cuba.
Well, because Trump is president, they will. If we don't allow that tanker to get through, we're going to be accused of being inhumane to Cubans.
Well, yeah, so what's it's a tough decision because you could make the case that it would be more humane to blockade until the government falls. In the long run, if you continue to let oil in, then that government's just going to keep hanging on and oppressing people into perpetuity. And so at some point you either have to cut the cord or just give up on it and give up on 10 million Cubans and their freedoms.
The Cubans that made it to Miami, they're some of the most amazing people I knew. Hardcore patriots, hardworking people, good families. I mean, every group has its, aberrations. But over 25 years, almost half of my friends were of Cuban descent, not just because they were such great assimilators. Whose car is honking in the parking lot? This is big time radio.
Oh, it was yours.
Was it?
It just went off.
Oh. Okay.
It was your car, Greg.
I got so much going on. That has nothing to do with this show, and I'm so sorry, man. But if we don't laugh at it, or laugh at me at least, what are we going to do? So, I don't want to see a conflict there, but with both Cuba and Iran, we are helping to put them in a position to get rid. I mean, Cuba's not just in a blackout state. They're in a backward state. I mean, they have had literally no progress, at least for the people. And at some point, don't both of these countries need help from their own people to overthrow? Are there enough of them to do that?
Yeah, I mean...
And take their power back?
Yeah, certainly in Iran that needs to happen. I do wonder, I mean, if we were able to get rid of Maduro in a dead of the night operation like we did in Venezuela, I do wonder, couldn't we potentially do that with the communists in Cuba? It's something that, as we've discussed, I mean, it's something that Eisenhower or JFK should have done. Shouldn't have ever let.
That was my next question.
In the first place.
Both of these situations, are they not a result of presidential inaction in previous administrations?
Yeah. Everything Trump is dealing with, everything is a result of decades of presidential inaction, right? And letting these situations fester in these hot spots in the world. And letting millions of people live under oppression. Iran was a cosmopolitan, modern country. It's hard to remember.
Oh, I've seen the pictures.
Yeah, I mean, yes, the Shah was a dictator, and so was Fulgencio Batista in Cuba. But those were by and large modern cosmopolitan societies where most of the populations lived in freedom. And we allowed them to fall under this oppressive rule by communists in Cuba, by Islamo-fascists in Iran, and have allowed the Cuba situation to fester for 66 years, in Iran for 47 years, because we never elected a president that had the courage to do anything to reverse it. And nor did we have presidents in office to act to stop it from happening in the first place. So the only country on earth that can do this is the United States. Okay?
Yeah.
And, we have a choice as a country of either doing it or not doing it. And for all these years, we've chosen not to do it. And now we have a president who is doing it. And of course, the media turns into literally an anti-America media. And
They're the
opposition
worst.
Party turns into an enemy party, basically.
They are. That's
it's
exactly what they
extraordinary.
are. Unbelievable.
So, this is why other presidents didn't want to do it, because, they didn't want to suffer the slings and arrows that you end up dealing with.
Well, you mentioned that this is right now, this current situation as it says today, classic Donald Trump. He's communicating some hope, but he's also keeping Iran, Cuba uncomfortable. He's not tipping his hat. You know, and the Democrats, they want all the information out there. They want to make sure the enemy understands everything we've got planned. You stupid!
I don't understand them.
I love how the president responds when a liberal reporter asks, well, you know, you've got 5,000 Marines on these 2 ships on the way to the Middle East. Are you going to use them to take the Karg Island? And he looks at it and says, now think about it. If you were me, would you answer that question? That is a stupid question. I'm not going to answer the next question. You know?
See, the reporter that asks a stupid question, they can always run to their little friends, their fellow communists in the media, and they'll all get a pat on the back and a little love. But the fact is that that's exactly what they are. And somewhere deep down, they know they look like idiots.
They have to. I mean, it's hard to imagine they are truly that lacking in self-awareness. At some level, they have to understand.
Suppose Roosevelt, a month after Pearl Harbor, is having a press conference and reporters are asking questions, and he says, well, we got this great plan. We're going to take 16 B-25 bombers. We're going to put them on an aircraft carrier so they can take off but not land, and we're going to bomb Japan. We're going to be the first country to bomb them on their homeland ever.
And here's Jimmy Doolittle to walk you through the details of the plan.
Yeah, he's going to lead this raid, which we'll do about, we're hoping to get as close as 400 miles to the coast of Japan, so it'll give our pilots a better chance to survive or make it to China. Jimmy, go ahead and tell everybody what the deal is. This is what the media expects.
Yeah.
Tell us, how are we going to do this? They're just the worst. They're just the worst. And sadly, there are still too many people that believe them. You know, I got to tell you, it's kind of exciting to see Barry Weiss operating at CBS just to trim the fat. They're getting rid of their environmental reporter and all these people that really have no genuine news value.
Did you see what they had Leslie Stahl doing last night on 60
No, I missed it.
She did a whole 20-minute deal on this company, and I'm going to forget the name of the company. That's actually the company that has the biggest control of the biggest rare earth minerals operation in the United States. This is Leslie Stahl doing a piece that was actually a very positive piece overall about this company and its operations. And it's basically an advocacy piece for American energy dominance. You ever think you'd see that at CBS News?
On 60 Minuets? Holy cow.
60 Minutes. Leslie Stahl. Wow, man.
And of course, they ended CBS News, radio news.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was around for 100 years, but you know what? They didn't really change with the times, and it was a dying entity.
Yeah.
But there's more to come. I believe you're going to see some big names roll. And
oh, yeah. And at CNN, too, when she gets control of that. Did you see what they're doing at CNN? They're having their hosts, Jake Tapper and Anderson Cooper, and all these idiot hosts that they have, and they're having them host their shows from their offices in podcast format with a big mic in front of them, and their offices have been remodeled to look like the podcast studio for Joe Rogan, you know, that sort of thing. And they think this is going to attract the podcast audience to CNN now. It's just, they're so desperate. It's just pathetic.
So they're actually using the Joe Rogan. Are they smoking dope too before they?
No, they're not smoking dope. I don't think. Tapper hasn't started that yet. He'll do it next, though.
He always looks like he's had something. maybe a cocktail or two.
Yeah,
He's the worst.
Probably that.
He is a national embarrassment, that guy. All right, you are welcome to join the conversation at 334-272-9228, 272-9228, and the 334. And Eric is first in with David Blackman this afternoon. Hello, Eric.
Hey, Mr. Udell, it's always good to hear from you guys. You know, when I just heard the remark that Greg said about giving that information and the president, I was like, damn, Greg, that was the bomb. You know, I mean, that was all I could think of is, you know, and go ahead and release out. Well, hell, I figure we'll go ahead and send the troops in to South Island.
Yeah.
Greg, you made a very valid point on that. So, you know, especially with the media like they are, I wouldn't trust them as much as I would the Iraq.
You couldn't. You really couldn't.
But I'm going to make it quick. I got to hang up. But, Greg, I know some people at the water park, and your name pops up. And the show, actually, now, I'm going to make it quick. What are the – I'd like to talk off the air about you doing like when summer's fixing to be around the corner and getting you guys to do like a broadcast at the water park, because your name does pop up a lot. And so I'm not kidding.
Me at the water park?
You go to Baumhauer's.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm just thinking the mayor not be wild about that idea.
Well, he is damn. I didn't vote for him.
Yeah, I'm wondering who did and what their issue is. Well, I appreciate that. It would be nice to be able to get out, but right now we're just trying to stay on the air, which is.
Man, I'm glad to have you, bud. I promise you.
Thank you. I'm very grateful. But I'm nothing without these people. Without David Blackman, without Pamela Dubuque, I'm just some old guy hanging around, having fun. We'd be talking about all kinds of rancid stuff. But thank you, Eric. Good message. We appreciate it. And again, 272-9228. Trying to think if there's something else we want to hit before we get to the top of the hour. You know what? This is a logical pause point.
Okay.
So we'll have plenty of time. It's a nice segment, though. At least we got 25 minutes. So that's the thing. It may be something to think about. We could create a half-hour block to start this thing. We'd start a little bit later, but that would give us,
that'd be fine with me. Yeah.
Your people will call my people and we'll discuss. But you know,
I am my people. That's me.
You can find this man at Substack, davidblackman.substack.com. I haven't memorized the energy blog address yet, but it's Blackman at Substack.com.
Yeah.
That's Blackman, BLACKMON. And you. Well, every once in a while I have to. And I also want to compliment you. I love the thank you for the attention to this matter idea that you've been throwing out there. Yeah, it's great. All right, we'll be back with David. We'll be back with David in just a minute. Hey, warm today. It was nice to pop back into the house after a hot and sweaty bike ride and feel that AC. One day, though, you may walk in the house expecting to cool down, and it's hotter inside than out. And then you might not know who to call because you don't have an existing relationship with a great AC company. Well, there is one, and the one you need is Clark's. I've been with them for 15 years. I have not had a catastrophic system meltdown because they do the maintenance, they do the tune-ups. And when my system just got old and I needed a new one, I bought it through them. You can do that. Great brand names at 0% financing. And the difference they make, if your system is 10 or more years older or 15 or older, and it's, they should last 15 to 20 years if they get TLC. For me, TLC is the love of Clark's. They install it, they do the warranty work, maintenance, and so forth. It's a great decision because they make such a difference in your monthly energy costs. They do pay for themselves. In my case, it was about 3 years, but worth every penny. In the meantime, you enjoy the result of a modern AC unit that makes your temperature adjustments quickly and quietly, too. They've got amazing plumbers that can diagnose and apply a fix to any situation, and everybody at Clark's is on call for you 24/7, 365 with that $180 investment. 2 tune-ups in your home. for $180 and the benefit of discounts on parts and labor and emergency assistance 24/7, 365. It is a good deal. 277-2125, 277-2125 in the 334, or visit clarkcomfort.com, Alabama certified, case number 09098. We'll be back with David in a minute. Right now, we're going to check into the traffic dungeon with Salem Radio Network News ahead.
Traffic is brought to you by Skipper Pools. Skipper Pools for weekly service, equipment and liner replacements, and a sparkling pool all year. 356-0237. Skip the rest. Call the best. Skipper Pools.
Well, we are still not seeing any issues. Montgomery, Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka, none we're aware of. Traffic light to moderate and building. We're seeing that slow afternoon build in traffic right now on the boulevards, I-65 and 85 and all of our feeder roads outbound. Please keep it here for updates. At McKenna Nissan, you can drive a brand new Nissan with your good credit and no money down. Talk to David and get all the details. McKenna Nissan, exit 212 off I-65 in Clanton. It's worth the drive. Buckle up. Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch Traffic.
2026 marks 60 years that hope has had a home in Alabama. At the Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches, children who've lost everything through no fault of their own have found something priceless. A safe place to live, a loving Christian family, and the chance to simply be kids again. Here, boys and girls grow up surrounded by care, guidance, and faith, learning right from wrong, learning responsibility, learning they are valued and that their lives have purpose. As the Alabama Sheriffs have believed for 6 decades, it's easier to build boys and girls than to repair men and women. These former ranchers are now teachers, parents, business owners, and leaders, living proof that love, structure, and faith can change a life forever. As the Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches celebrate 60 years of serving Alabama's children, you can help ensure the next child has the same chance. Learn how you can make a difference at alabamasheriffsyouthranches.org. 60 years of building lives, and we're just getting started.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
The 22nd Annual Autism Crawfish Boil, benefiting Easter Seals of Central Alabama, is April 11th at Riverwalk Stadium. Proceeds from this fun family event benefit autism programs at Easter Seals of Central Alabama. Enjoy all-you-can-eat crawfish, live music, and even a baseball game. The Autism Crawfish Boil, April 11th at Riverwalk Stadium. Stay and eat or grab them to go. Scan or visit mudbugball.com to purchase tickets and get info on curbside pickup.
You're listening to radio. You know these clowns show up every day to entertain you for next to nothing? Because they love doing it.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. President Trump is postponing his deadline for Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Hours ahead of his original Monday deadline, the president announced the U.S. will delay attacks on Iranian power plants for 5 days. He also said the U.S. is talking with what he called a respected Iranian leader and claims the Islamic Republic is eager for a deal to end the war. Hundreds of immigration officers will be deployed this week to U.S. airports to help with security. The expanded role comes as TSA screeners have worked more than a month now without paychecks because of a budget impasse in Congress. An Air Canada jet carrying more than 70 passengers collided with a fire truck while landing at New York's LaGuardia Airport last night, killing the 2 pilots and injuring several others on board. On Wall Street, the Dow closed up by 631 points, the Nasdaq up 299. This is SRN News.
The following is a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
I had a lot of credit card debt, and it stressed me out. But what I thought was a solution turned out to be a problem. I kept hearing ads about debt settlement that seemed too good to be true. And actually, it was. When I called, they told me to stop paying my bills. That didn't sound right to me at all, so I hung up. Later, I found out that debt settlement is bad, real bad. Then I learned that there is a right way to pay off your credit cards. It's called a debt management program from the great team at Trinity. Trinity had a plan. In the end, I paid off my bills, I saved thousands, and I even improved my credit score.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-936-5496.
My name is Heather. Please forget debt settlement and remember Trinity Debt Management.
1-800-936-5496.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Weak cool front moving through the area today, so tonight will be a little cooler. Partly cloudy, overnight low temperature falls to about 50. Tuesday will be noticeably cooler with a high temperature only in the lower 70s and a breezy day. There could be an isolated shower in the area somewhere on Tuesday night. Wednesday, sunshine, 71. Back to the low to mid 80s on Thursday and Friday before another weekend cool down. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Mark your calendar. Every first Thursday of the month, Epicure and Jack's Tavern host an all-you-can-eat raw oyster shucking party. Fresh oysters, skilled shuckers, a great crowd. Tickets are required and available at epicureandjackstavern.com/event calendar. Epicure and Jack's Tavern. One night, all the oysters you can handle.
Alabama weather will never fail to surprise you. Our lawns hardly get a chance to have any downtime. This year, save the hard work and aggravation and call Alabama Lawns, the River Region's leader in weed control and fertilization services. What makes Alabama Lawns the River Region's best? It's the people. They have the experience, education, and commitment to customer satisfaction. Ask your neighbors. Alabama Lawns has been the Montgomery Advertiser's Reader's Choice Award winner 14 years in a row. The Alabama Lawn staff is made up of long-term employees and agronomy graduates, and the staff at Alabama Lawns attend annual continuing education classes. It pays to have someone that knows southern grass types and how to keep them green and flourishing. Call Alabama Lawns today at 272-7171 and let them show you real value in lawn maintenance service. Alabama Lawns, the company with black trucks and green lawns.
Hi, this is Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop. Listen every Saturday to Winning Wellness and learn from experts in different fields of science and technology how nutritional supplements can help you.
Listen to Winning Wellness every Saturday at 10 a.m.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers.
Probably the biggest highlight from the big basketball weekend.
9 seconds. Boyd wants it inside. Drive. 6 seconds. Block! Down point. They launched down point. Throw on the glass slipper. It's a Cinderella story in Portland, Oregon. For the first time in program history, High Point breaks through. We will see you in the round of 32. Oh, what a feeling!
That was an actual college basketball announcer.
I love that.
For the school.
I picked that win.
You did? How is your bracket overall?
It's pretty good. Hold on, let me grab it. I've got it with me.
No, that's cool. While you're doing that, let's grab a call from Jeff as we rejoin the great David Blackman here on News Talk 93.1 FM.
Hello, how y'all doing today?
I don't know. How are you?
Yeah, I know
It's
that
Monday.
feeling. David, I hated to hear. It saddened me to hear the death of Chuck Norris.
Yeah, me too. Me too. He was one of the true greats. Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Speaking of death, I hate to make a left turn here. I just wish the president. Look, we all know that Mueller was a snake. The other two, Comey and Wray, they belong in jail. But there's kind of a universal understanding that if somebody dies and they cannot rebut what you say, saying good,
yeah,
it just He's better than that.
By the way, y'all know that Chuck Norris really died 3 weeks ago, but it took God that long to work up the guts to tell him.
I heard it when the Grim Reaper showed up. Chuck kicked his butt. But I was calling because I'm kind of irritated with. Okay, Vanity Fair wrote an article. And you could tell the guy was gay looking at him. I mean, they posted his picture because they were kind of up in arms about the article he wrote, talking about that because Chuck was a Republican, it just overshadowed his film career.
Oh, yeah, of course
it
it
did not. His film career was stopped because his wife got really sick, and he had to take time off to take care of her. She had gone in the hospital, and something happened that she almost died.
Look, these people are sick. They're mentally ill. They hate anything that has the slightest tinge of conservatism, largely because they hate themselves. They're the great American Les Miserables. I don't know that they can ever be fixed because that would require some self-work, and they're not going to do it. So I wouldn't waste any time on it. Thank you for the call, Jeff. We appreciate it. I do happen to have a list, David, of the best Chuck Norris jokes of all time.
Oh, I love those. They're so great.
Yes, and the best Chuck Joris Noakes of all time.
Did we lose David's mic?
I may have.
Oh, there we go. It's back.
Okay, here I am.
I keep inadvertently hitting buttons because
It's Monday.
I'm fundamentally awkward. God said, "Let there be light," and Chuck Norris said, "Say please." When Chuck Norris plays dodgeball, the ball dodges him. Chuck Norris uses pepper spray to season his meat.
Oh, gosh.
Chuck Norris is the only person who can slam a revolving door. Chuck Norris doesn't do push-ups. He does earth downs. And if it gets slow between now and 5, I have 25 more of these.
Oh, do you want to hear how I'm doing on my bracket?
Yes.
I have 10 out of 16 right in the Sweet 16.
That's pretty good.
That actually is. That's better than I ever did.
Well, the odds on winning that are like 1 in 3 billion. I mean, having a perfect bracket.
Oh, yeah. I've never had a perfect bracket. I mean,
There was one a few years ago on the ESPN thing. Somebody actually ended with a perfect bracket.
Wow. See, I do mix it up and I pick some of those like I don't usually pick a 16 over a 1. I usually start at like 12 or 13.
Yeah.
And pick a couple of those underdogs. And High Point was one of those.
Well, my bracket is perfect. Mine is 3-0. I picked Texas 3 times last week, and they won 3 times. So that's the only things I'm worried about.
And Alabama made it to the Sweet 16.
They did.
Yes. Yeah.
And that was one of the picks I got right, but I do have them losing to Michigan.
Michigan is, ooh, boy, they're tough. Ooh.
They are tough.
Texas has to play Purdue, and it's going to be rough, too.
I did not pick Texas to win that game.
The Gonzaga game?
I
told my son-in-law we were going to win that game. I had a good
That's
feeling
good.
about it.
But I picked Purdue in that one too.
Yeah, Purdue's going to win that game. But it's going to be a tight game. Our team is.
It's going to be
That
good. Well,
team
there were
somehow
some
lost
nail
14
biters
regular
already.
season
Like, I mean, not to mention the ones we saw where like Florida lost, but
Yeah.
I mean, some of them were really close. Duke right off the bat.
Yeah, who beat Florida?
Who is this?
Okay, we
remember who
have
it
calls
was that
coming
beat
in
them.
272-9228. Trump
Oh,
put out a
hang on.
post today,
What's your name? Let me
David,
put you on air.
basically saying no funding for DHS, no deal with the Democrats until the Save America Act is approved. I saw a poll this morning. The numbers of people who are for voter ID is now 84%. It's
Yeah.
actually gotten more popular with all their hand wringing. Do you see any path to this getting done, though?
Well,
This is so obnoxious.
I think there's one path, and I think that path needs to be Donald Trump saying, I'm not going to sign another bill until the SAVE Act comes to my desk and I can sign it first. then we can get
Yeah.
back to work. And I think if he would hold firm on that, they're not going to have any choice because they got to do other bills. There's stuff that, they absolutely have to get done. And it's, you're on the 84-16 winning side of it. Let the
Yeah.
Democrats fight it all as long as they want to.
There's
It's
such
just
mental
such a no-brainer to me. I don't get it.
And I don't understand why Republicans can be so gutless on this issue. It's very frustrating.
And
Although there was,
and they complain because you're loading it up with the men and girls restroom stuff, right? The trans stuff. Well, that's another 80-20 issue that you're on the right side of. So let them whine about that all they want. I mean,
how many mass murders need to be committed by transgender people before people start thinking maybe there's a mental illness in that?
yeah, maybe there
'Cause this
really
is
is a problem there.
These aren't people who are biologically wired that way. That does happen.
Isn't it weird how we just went from like all of the shooters being like young white men, and now all of the shooters are transgender?
Yeah.
Like,
And they sure don't spend a lot of time hanging around in the news, do they? No matter how awful the crime they commit. We don't want to hurt anybody's
that
feelings.
is very odd. There's a conspiracy in there somewhere, Pamela. I agree with you.
absolutely. It's just MK Ultra targets.
Well, I think getting that SAVE Act done is going to be a huge win. And if they think he's going to buckle, they don't, how could they not know that he means what he says? This is a president you can take at his word. So if he says, I'm not signing anything until the SAVE Act is done, they better find a way. And the Supreme Court appears to be very much in favor of ruling against counting ballots for 3 weeks after an election.
Yeah.
And putting an end to that Beazel Schmeazel, because that's exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
They had election results counted faster before we had calculators.
Yeah.
And they were using, prison walls or whatever they counted the ballots on with chalk.
An abacus.
Yeah.
What are there? 80? There's like, France is a great example. There's like 80 million people in France, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have one election day. They don't have early voting, don't have mail-in ballots. It's all, they do use voting machines, but it's not Smartmatic stuff. And their polls close at 7:00, and they don't have judges holding polls open because somebody's car broke down on the way to the polling place, and crap like happens in the United States. And by 10:00 at night, all those votes are counted and tabulated, and the elections are done. Okay.
Yeah.
We do that in Texas. They do it in Florida. It's only in blue states where suddenly they're not competent enough to count votes in a timely manner. It's
The toilet's clogged.
Yeah.
Let's go home, except
Right.
for us. And we'll stick around and we'll pull out all these ballots. And when is that going to get addressed in Georgia? And what about the sheriff in California? This is interesting.
Riverside County, California announced Saturday that they've done a full audit of the last November's elections in his county, which only has 631,000 residents. And so I think there were 300 and some odd thousand votes cast that they know an exact number of ballots that were cast. You know how many were counted? 45,800 more than were actually cast.
Well, anybody can make a minor mistake.
So,
yeah.
And of course, it's most of the votes, almost all of them went for the Democrats. And, it's just, and that's one county in California.
Yeah.
That's one county. And the only reason he did that audit as sheriff of that county is because he's running for governor. Okay,
is
he's
it
one of the
possible,
gubernatorial candidates.
based on polling I've seen, the jungle primary system they use, they could actually have two Republicans running against each other for governor of California? Are they ready to
yeah, I mean, it's theoretically possible. But I mean, given the state of enforcement of actual laws in California, it's not going to happen because the Democrats will just count ballots until they have a Democrat facing off against a Republican. I mean, we know that's going to happen. But yeah, the two
frustrating.
Republican candidates are leading in the latest polls in that
We have-
Gilgo primary.
A call from Freebird at 418. Freebird, good afternoon.
Hey, Craig. I've been listening to you from day one. It's been a while, hasn't it?
Almost 21 years.
Yeah, I know. I'm 74 now.
Wow, how did you get that old?
I don't know. Last week, anniversary, I've been married 50 years. And
Oh, congratulations.
That is so awesome.
Thank you. But I'm very fortunate to still be here. I wanted to ask David a question.
Yes.
David, do you think the Iranian people will ever rise up against these evil leaders? Evil leaders that they got. You think they'll ever rise up on them?
I don't know. It's hard because they're disarmed, and these are, as you say, very evil people. They mowed down at least 30,000 of them what was that, in January when they had the demonstrations, and I saw an estimate this morning that they actually killed 180,000, which seems that's pretty extraordinary if true.
That's a Holocaust, for crying out loud.
Yeah, I mean, so these are incredibly evil people who will do anything to hold on to power, and because they know if they're deposed, they're going to die. Right? They're the ones that are going to be getting hung from the cherry pickers in the town square. So,
pardon my butterfly brain, but Virginia, they've got a real commie running that state now, and they have passed 6 anti-gun laws. They'll probably get overturned in the Supremes. Didn't take long, did it?
Right.
Why don't people understand why that amendment is there?
Right.
Unless you just have a terminal desire to be told what to do from sunup to sundown, how much you can make, what you can have, how many miles you can drive. It's so insane. It just infuriates. Not to mention the Supremes seem very friendly towards ending this nonstop ballot counting. If I mentioned that before, I'm sorry, but let's hope that decision gets made and made quickly.
Yeah, it's really. I tell you what, we need to do a lot of praying. Listen, thank y'all.
No, congratulations on 50 years, buddy. That's awesome.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I think there should be a law that requires media to acknowledge any couple that makes it to 50 years. They should automatically get a story. Maybe they've never been in the paper their entire lives, but they deserve acknowledgement for that accomplishment.
That is
incredible.
incredible.
We're going to have 45 in August, and that's a
Wow.
long haul.
That's awesome.
Pamela, will you keep an eye out for the invitation to the David Blackman 45th wedding anniversary party in Texas, and let's make sure we clear that weekend, okay?
It'll be. We'll have a party. Yeah, we'll have one glass of champagne, and I'll stay up until 10 instead of that.
Well, you are up early. I mean, you're up when I'm up.
Early.
And many mornings I hold myself back from calling to see if you can give us a quick take on something breaking in the early morning news. The situation with ICE and DHS. First of all, let's talk about this incredible air crash. We have seen, I don't know if this points to underqualified personnel that have been hired going back into the Biden years, but there have been dozens of incidents involving planes bumping, close calls. Just, I believe it was Friday, a jet cleared another plane by 300 feet on takeoff.
Yikes.
Just by total luck. And of course, we had incompetence was in the middle of that helicopter ramming the American Airlines plane near D.C. But this, we played the audio from the air traffic control tower this morning, and clearly the air traffic controller was telling the truck, stop.
Yeah, it was
Why
the
didn't
truck that just ignored for some reason. I don't know if they just weren't hearing them or. Yeah, it was really awful, just horrible.
And the video is just a total gut punch. On top of that, flying is so much fun because you have to get to the airport 3 days.
5 hours early now.
5?
They had somebody who works for airlines say, if I were you, I'd get there 5 hours early at a major hub.
To stand in line, right?
Mhm.
Basically to get cleared.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's insane. And
I mean, they're not getting paid. The TSA personnel not getting paid thanks to the Democrats. And
yeah, and why are the Republicans not selling that reality a little bit better? It's them. They're so invested in their mental illness with Donald Trump that they're actually inconveniencing. This is millions of people now.
They don't care about us, though. And how
Very
much more
right.
obvious can it be to people? When are the masses gonna realize this? If you don't see this as a very clear example of how little they care.
yeah.
Well,
And instead,
unfortunately,
what do? We go to the airport 4 hours early and queue up in line and stand in line for 4 hours to get through security checks that are, for the most part, performance theater. Okay. I mean, it's just,
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
true.
right. You know, okay. X-ray bags, fine, whatever. You know, take my little ounce and a half of shampoo that I forgot to put in there and throw it away. Good, great, wonderful. Can I get on the plane? At least they don't make us take our shoes off anymore. I guess that's a good thing.
Also,
We
we did
spent,
all
and
of
by the
that.
way, it took 25 years to get that bit of idiocy taken out of the system.
Well, one guy, the notorious shoe bomber on that flight to Detroit, he does it, so then everybody
Okay.
has
How
to
far is it
pay,
back up, do you know?
because that's knee-jerk security. It
Right.
really is.
Thank you. Bye.
You'd think they'd have a dog that could sniff for cordite. Anything-
Traffic update.
All right, we have a traffic situation. Let's interrupt briefly for that.
Short wave. Take it down, quick. What's it say? Shut up.
You have our attention.
On 85, right at the interchange at with 65, the Day Street exit is parked.
Oh.
Don't know how far it's backed up, but they are not moving right now. So, find a new way to get to Prattville or downtown Montgomery.
On
if
the
you come that way.
On the voter fraud issue, well, we're going to have one more segment, and we got to take a break shortly. But let's wrap up. The sheriff and voter fraud in general. The Supreme Court very skeptical in its commentary and hearing the case on mail-in ballots. California, in their last election, did they not count, or there were seats that were undeclared for 3 weeks?
Oh, at least. Yeah. No, it went on for longer than that. It went on into January after the November 2024 election. They were still counting ballots in January.
What should the rule say?
And
If it's
in
a
Arizona,
mail-in?
too, in Maricopa County, Arizona, too, where we know that the Chinese poured a ton of money into that county in the
Oh, they did?
2024 election. Oh, yes, we know.
What do you
that
think
well.
What do you think will come out of that? Do you think it'll change anything?
I don't
or
know. I
anybody
mean, the
would go to jail?
FBI has all those records now. You know, it's going to take a while to go through. What is it, 1.4 million ballots and all those other records that are associated with it. So, I don't know. Hope something comes of it, but you know, we can't trust the DOJ to. I don't think we can. So I don't know. I just don't know.
All right, we're going to break here at 4:27. We have Alabama News Network coming up, 1819 News, and Rich's forecast. Then we'll come back and rejoin David on the other side for one last big segment.
Cool.
Good. Subscribe to David at davidblackman.substack.com, blackman.substack.com for energy. This man has spent his life in the energy business. If you want to find out what's happening, follow the bouncing ball with gas prices. I learned this morning from David that the price per barrel dropped $12 just off that Trump post. Now, let's see if they're as fast to lower the price as they were to raise it. Oh, my God. Do they have to put Kathy Hochul on TV? I'd like to eat tonight. I'd like to have an appetite.
She really looks like the evil stepmother from the Cinderella
You know
animated
what? There's not a whole lot
version.
of difference, to be quite honest with you. Our visit through the American Idiocracy is brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. Donnie and Brandon Turner and a great team of talented people restoring cars to look good as new, maybe better when you're in a wreck. You get to pick Pick wisely. Choose MPB. If you need them, call 27-REC with a W. That's 27-REC with a W in the 334 area code for Montgomery Paint and Bonding. Donnie, Brandon, we thank you guys. We've got news after traffic.
We have a new accident, Day Street at Hill Street. Please use caution there. They're calling that a moderate crash. There are injuries involved. Please watch out for emergency units responding. Everywhere else, light to mostly moderate building afternoon traffic. Interstates, boulevards, Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka reporting light to mostly moderate traffic. Get ready for spring at Premier Place. Shop Bath & Body Works, Cuts by Us, Hourglass Optical, Pharaoh Vape and Phone Repair, and more. Premier Place in Prattville, another great McClinton & Company development. Buckle up, Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch Traffic.
News is brought to you by Adams Motorsports of Montgomery, where your pleasure is their business.
1819 News.
U.S. Senator Katie Britt is commending Elon Musk for his recent offer to pay the salaries of TSA agents who are being affected by the partial government shutdown that's currently in place that is specifically targeting the Department of Homeland Security. Britt spoke on Fox News saying there is a precedent set by other U.S. citizens when it comes to helping out during a government shutdown.
We saw in the last Democrat-led shutdown, longest ever, 43 days, we saw an anonymous donor come in and do about $130 million to make sure that our troops were paid. There was a provision that allowed for that now. I think what we're looking at now is what provisions allow for things like this to happen in the Department of Homeland Security. I appreciate the patriotism because what he's saying is these men and women are coming to work to keep us safe. They should be getting a paycheck.
I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Ryan Dawson here, CEO of 1819 News. I'm also the host of 1819 News, the podcast, and we'd love for you to join us by listening to our weekly show on all the top podcast apps, both in audio and video format. At 1819 News, the podcast, we are in pursuit of a free and flourishing Alabama. Every week, we're having important conversations with guests from across this great state, all with the goal of equipping Alabama, at least weekly. I hope
that they will no longer be adding fluoride to their water. The board cited two reasons for this decision: the aging equipment they have, as well as the potential health impact that ingested fluoride has on a person over the course of their life. This change will affect over 700,000 residents in the greater Birmingham area. The move from the CAW is very much in line with the concerns expressed by Health and Human Services Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
AdamsMotorsports.com on the web, or Adams Motorsports on the Boulevard in Montgomery. That's at Adams Motorsports in Montgomery, where your pleasure is our business. Come by and learn more about the new Suzuki GSX 8R motorcycle and see for yourself the bar has officially been reset.
I was in foot pain for 20 years, trying to give it relief, buying all these different insoles. Drugstore insoles, custom insoles. I spent thousands of dollars. I bought all these products, and not a single one worked. I really, truly needed to have relief in my feet. And the Good Feet arch supports were what gave me the relief I needed.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure that I got something that my feet felt good in, not somebody else's feet. I love the fact that I can wear these arch supports in all my shoes. I have boots, I have cowboy boots, I have running shoes, I have walking shoes, I have flat shoes, I have heels. It makes me so happy. If you ask my husband, he will crack up because there is no store I would rather go in than a shoe store. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
We're located at 7341 East Chase Parkway in the shops at East Chase. Now hiring.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. Here in the River Region, thousands of hardworking folks will be buying a home, some for the first time. How do you know you are buying the right home? It starts with research. A buyer's agent can help you in your search, providing a list of homes you may not be aware of or know about. At the same time, a meeting with a local lender to find out exactly what you qualify for and how much it will cost at closing and monthly. A list of needs and wants provided to your agent will help them locate properties that match those needs. An example would be bedrooms, baths, school zones, floor plan requests will also help. Start shopping and look at homes and compare and make a list of pluses and minuses for each home. Compare them with your agent to narrow the field. After you work out the contract, appraisals and inspections come next, and then the closing. For more details, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group, 221-2883. That's 221-2883.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Hi, I'm Brian McMahon with Turf Stalkers. Within a few months of advertising with Blue Water, our customer base doubled. If you're looking for similar results, we highly recommend advertising with Blue Water.
Radio reaches over 90% of everyone in the river region. Shouldn't your ads be out there where your customers are? Call us to find out more. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Clark Heating, Air, and Plumbing. It's time to schedule your spring tune-up with Clark Heating, Air, and Plumbing. Don't wait. Schedule today. Give them a call at 334-277-2125. Alabama certification number 88007.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Weak cool front moving through the area today, so tonight will be a little cooler. Partly cloudy, overnight low temperature falls to about 50. Tuesday will be noticeably cooler with a high temperature only in the lower 70s and a breezy day. There could be an isolated shower in the area somewhere on Tuesday night. Wednesday, sunshine, 71. Back to the low to mid 80s on Thursday and Friday before another weekend cool down. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
CB&S Bank, serving families and communities since 1906. Proud to be named 16th best performing bank nationally in their asset category by American Banker. Learn more at cbsbank.com. CB&S Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
When news happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Snot News confirms Japan has entered the fray by deploying their secret weapon. We have the footage. Snot News
I
confirms
love that.
Japan has entered the
And why
fray.
not? We could use all the help from Godzilla that we can. David hasn't rejoined us yet.
There he is.
Sorry about that.
Have you heard about Godzilla becoming part of the war? Hang on
Yeah, I
one
saw
second. I
that.
gotta stop this.
That's awesome.
Very authentically done. You know, AI, though, it can be fun. It's also becoming a giant pain in the butt because almost everything now, especially if it's something positive, you have to wonder
Yeah.
if it's legitimate or if somebody made it up to make themselves feel better. There you go. Biden illegal, charged in the murder of the Loyola student. They're having memorials for Renee Good in Minnesota, but nobody seems to care about this. The fact that ICE's job is to get people like that off the street so they can't do these things.
Yep.
And
Ooh,
that's
I got that echo back.
Uh-oh.
And I just removed it. See, to be able to play Godzilla, I had to put the channel.
Somebody, some creative soul out on X did a copy of that, but with a meme with Marco Rubio actually as Godzilla. That's his latest new job.
Oh, God. Where he's sitting on the couch?
No. But he was actually in the ocean in front of that ship, just like Godzilla was.
Funny.
It's Marco Rubio.
You know, I can tell that he's doing a good job because he hardly ever gets mentioned in the legacy media.
Yeah.
They just ignore him.
Yeah, they don't know what to do with it.
No, because A, he's Hispanic, and B, he's conservative, and C, he seems to really know what he's doing, and the Trump effect on him is that he's really got some cojones.
Yeah. And every time they try to catch him in an interview, he just humiliates them. So they can't even do that with him.
Referencing that, I'm saying ridiculous because having a fire truck crossing a runway when a plane is landing is there's no excuse for that, and we'll see what the investigation yields. But Duffy said something about an inaccurate rumor that led up to that crash. I don't know what that rumor might have been.
I don't know. I've been focused on Iran and everything today, so I haven't really gotten in depth into that story.
I'm trying to see if I can find out what the rumor is. This is news today. There's a rumor mentioned in the headline of the story, and in the who, what, when, where, and why, the meat of the story, they don't tell you what the rumor is.
Oh, it says Transportation Secretary says rumor that only one air traffic controller was working during the incident is inaccurate.
Gee, I wonder who could have started that.
CNN.
Yeah.
Probably, let's remind everybody about Doge or something. By the way, you haven't heard anything about Doge. A year ago, Doge was the big story.
Yeah, it's not now.
No.
Although Anna Paulina Luna claims that they're going to do another reconciliation bill, and there's going to be 81 of the big cuts recommended by Doge that they're going to put into a reconciliation bill and pass into law. So hopefully that'll happen.
But I love the idea that Trump is not going to sign any bills. We also have from within the idiocracy, and there's are you not enjoying the chaos around the Obama monument, the library, whatever that big turd is by the lake? It is.
The Walmart dumpster library. I mean, it looks just like a dumpster in front of Walmart.
It's hideous. It's ridiculous. And isn't it nice to know that they're compensating Valerie Jarrett at $750,000 a year for doing God knows what?
Yeah.
I know she's not putting mortar between the bricks.
No, she didn't do anything, I'm sure. She had staff for that.
I think I brought this up Friday, and I if I recall, I said, I wish David was here for this one.
Gosh, that fire truck was going 104 miles per hour.
Holy smokes.
Wow. I mean, I understand they need to get where they're going, but on an airport tarmac, that doesn't leave much.
That's insane.
And what was the other incident that a fire truck had to be crossing runways anyway? You didn't hear anything about that.
Yeah.
Where was it headed? A progressive. This is that is the most misused word in the English language. Progressive. Regressive would be more accurate. Is being widely panned. I have a consonant problem with that. In a response to a local college student being shot and killed by an alleged illegal immigrant over the weekend, shortly after Sheridan Gorman of Westchester County, New York, was gunned down, Alderwoman Maria Haddon posted a video suggesting that Gorman was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Oh, yeah.
Is that now
her fault? Yeah.
Okay, so you were in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Oh, the plane was going 104 miles per hour, not the fire truck. There's a correction.
I was going to say that.
Yeah.
So the plane was in the process of taking off,
No, I believe it.
actively running down the runway?
I think they had landed.
I think it had just
Oh,
landed.
they had landed. Okay. Wow. Man, it's amazing more passengers weren't killed on that plane, just the pilots.
This idiot's comment, and she's a fathead, and I mean, just it's like Spanberger. I'm convinced that they're almost a race of human beings unique to themselves, because they're all at best homely. They all have straight, stringy hair. They make eye contact with a future that isn't there, And I wonder if Virginia is having regrets. Have you seen any approval on this woman? Because she taxed dog walking and 8,000 other things. Now they're passing every anti-gun law they can get through.
Yeah. And the first thing she did was issue an executive order rolling back all the election security efforts that the previous governor had put into place. So, no voter ID, unfettered mail-in ballots, just they're going to do post-election counting for weeks after election day. And,
Here's an idea.
It's amazing. It's really extraordinary.
You won't have to worry about voter ID if you have good ideas that people like. How about trying that approach instead of taxing everything that moves and making people miserable?
But they're not answering to us.
No, they don't care. They don't care.
That
They
is
know
the
they can rig the elections. Look, when you can just keep counting votes until you're going to win, then you don't have to care about anything else. You don't. There's no
I know
reason
what
to
would
care.
stop them, but it's radical.
What's that?
Going old time on them.
Yeah. Well, that's ultimately what's going to have to happen. At
It's
the end of the
gonna.
day, that's
It's-
inevitably where this is headed.
It is going to lead that way because they're just going to tie the rope around us tighter and tighter and tighter.
Yeah.
This wouldn't have happened 250 years ago.
So the Supreme Court said they ruled and ballots have to be counted, within 24 hours or whatever. I don't see any reason why that's so outrageous. What? Hearing weird noises. Where's that coming from?
There's people outside working next door.
I swear it wasn't me. I know that.
They're yucking it up out there.
Go pound on the window and tell them to knock it off. This is a radio show.
We're live.
I saw that, and you've been talking about this for some time because you are the energy expert, that the off-wind or offshore windmills, wind turbines are really, are they dying a slow death now? Is this?
Okay.
Well, I mean, one of them, there was one offshore New Jersey that went live, that it was 80% complete when Trump took office. And, the corrupt judges overruled the Trump administration's efforts to stop them. But then today, the administration made a deal with Total Energies to cancel 2 projects that they were building offshore New York and Massachusetts by just agreeing to give them their lease bonus back, which is, $938 million, some big number.
Jeez.
But, if you're going to cancel their leases, I've always thought the federal government, if it cancels your lease, it ought to be willing to refund. They've done this to oil companies a lot when a Democrat comes into office, and Biden actually did it to some companies in the offshore when he came in, where they cancel your lease and you're just out the money. And there's no refund of lease bonus costs or anything like that. Well, that's confiscation of assets without remuneration. I've always thought that the federal government ought to be liable for having to pay those back when they do take a unilateral action like that. Like when they canceled Keystone XL, the company that owned TransCanada that was developing Keystone XL. That was a $14 billion project all in. They'd already invested $8 billion. Okay.
Wow.
That's just sunk money. And the government just confiscated their property. And then they had to spend another $1 billion taking the pipe back out of the ground that they'd, several hundred miles of pipe was already in the ground. I mean, it was just criminal action by the federal government. So, I don't have a problem with them reimbursing Total Energies for that lease bonus cost.
My favorite meme, energy-wise, of the year was the one, because China builds these things. They said, we don't use them here. We sell them to stupid people. Hello, left. There you go. We have Ann on the phone at 448 at 272-9228. Good afternoon, Ann.
Good afternoon. I'd like to ask David a question. If the Constitution says you have to vote for president on this particular day. Why can't the states approach the Supreme Court and say it's unconstitutional to have voting ahead of time?
Oh, I agree. I mean, we should have never allowed early voting in any state. The Constitution is very specific. Election day is the second Tuesday in November, and that's when Election Day is, period. It's not 2 months before the second Tuesday in November. So yeah.
And I'll tell you what, in Alabama, if you can't vote on Election Day for whatever reason, you have to go through a process to get approved for that. They just don't give it to you.
Yeah.
But obviously, they probably sell pads of votes in the Office Depot stores in California. I mean, why not? Make it easy.
Well, I mean, if they can do that, why don't they do that?
Who's the?
Well, I don't know.
I don't know how you enforce it. That's the thing. There is no real enforcement branch of the Supreme Court.
Well,
nice.
I mean, the Supreme Court has ruled that early voting is constitutional. Previous Supreme Courts. I wish, like she's asking, why don't some states get together and challenge that now to this Supreme Court, since it's so obviously unconstitutional? Why are you just doing this piecemeal? Bring a case challenging all of these voter fraud encouragement efforts that the Democrat Party has put into place over the last half century. That's what this all is. Everything they've done related to our elections was designed to encourage election fraud. And it's time. You've got a court that will reverse all of it if you get the cases in front of it.
And thank you very much for bringing that up.
That was a great question. Thank you, Ann.
Yes. I can't believe this headline I'm reading. Newsom, Pritzker, and Shapiro criticized their parents to appear relatable. This is part of their campaign strategy to criticize mommy and daddy.
How pathetic is that?
Can you think of a Democrat that wouldn't throw their parents
Throw
under
mama
the bus
under the train. Why not?
for a vote?
Well, and for them all to come out and do it at the same time, how transparent.
Obviously scripted.
It's a strategy.
Yeah.
How stupid.
Here's another breaking news item. Tax resistance gains attention amid ICE protests, Iran war, and IRS penalties could follow. Chicago attorney Rachel, known to her friends as
Rachel
Cohn, owes more than $8,000 in federal income taxes, but intentionally left that balance unpaid. I'm not paying it this year, said
Rachel.
The 31-year-old community organizer.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
How does she owe $8,000 in taxes when she's a community organizer?
I thought they worked for free. I thought that was like volunteer work.
Yeah, sure.
Anyway, her tax return shows a balance due of $88.30, but she said, "I'm not going to pay." CNBC interviewed her. She said she deliberately chose to withhold payment of that bill as a protest against immigration detention. She wants those guys that murdered that college kid back on the street.
Well,
He was in the wrong
place.
Yeah, he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Why don't we understand
I
this?
am shocked because usually the tax opposition is more on the right side.
Well, we would,
How interesting.
when you
that
look
is interesting.
at the massive amounts of money that have been wasted
Oh, I know.
and on stupid stuff that benefits nobody, just lines the pocket of somebody doing
How
a
about
study.
Gavin Newsom's butterfly bridge to nowhere?
Oh,
You
I
see
know.
That? Not-
Yes. We talked about that last week.
That's the official bridge of the
Did we talk
idiocracy.
about it last week? Okay.
Yeah, no, that but how much was that? Is that,
$114 million, and it's still $50 million away at least from being completed.
Wow.
For
so did they
butterflies-
just plant pretty flowers on the top of it, hoping to attract the butterflies that way?
for butterflies and cougars. They want mountain lions to be able to cross the interstate without getting hurt so they can come in and eat somebody's pet. They're so damn impractical. They don't have a shred of common sense. How do they exist? How do they get
And Newsom wants 100 more of them just like that in California. In Colorado, they've it's actually a very successful thing for wildlife preservation, migratory mammals.
I
But
could
they
see
build them
that.
for 10 to 15 million a piece. Okay. That's what
I
it
mean, and
costs
not
to
into
do it right.
neighborhoods.
And not into neighborhoods, yes.
Well, obviously, Newsom had to put his own that guy just blows me away. Do we have anybody emerging as a front runner for 28? Who's got the lead with
So
this
there's a new
clown show?
fake poll out today that
Oh.
claims that Pete Buttigieg has now moved into the lead. Yeah, so that'll be wonderful.
Excuse me one moment.
But it's a fake. I mean, it's a obviously phonied up poll. I mean, they've got him at 28% to
What?
15 for Kamala to 11 for Newsom, right? I mean, it's just a dummied up poll designed to make a news story. But it just infuriates me, okay? Because last Thursday, Tallarico, our Senate candidate down here, his campaign released a poll claiming to show him leading both Cornyn and Paxton in the Senate race
Really?
in Texas. But it was his own internal poll, right? And so they just dummied up this poll and trying to create an illusion that he's actually leading the race. And so what does the media do? All these headlines saying, new poll shows Tallarico in the lead in Texas, and it's just such a racket. The whole polling profession ought to be outlawed in this country because it's all so fake.
I just took a poll. I've got the most popular radio show in all of America.
Yeah, I mean, right.
We took the poll in this room.
Yeah,
Right.
and it was unanimous.
Yeah, it
Everybody
was-
sucks but us.
It was unanimous.
We're down to our last couple of minutes. I think we can legitimately take a couple of moments here to celebrate the return of baseball, although Wednesday is opening day. Yankees at the Giants.
Yankees and Giants.
With the World Baseball Classic ended, and that did draw some significant numbers.
It did, yeah. Boy, big time.
But you had the best players in baseball playing for the different national teams. They come back to the team that they're going to be playing the season with, and it's really just a few days to get into a rhythm with them, and then opening day, it gets earlier and earlier. You may recall in our youth, which wasn't that long ago.
It was quite a while ago, Greg. I hate to tell you.
Look at his face.
Not for Pamela, but for you and me, it was quite some time ago.
Oh, no, I was a prodigy. I was way ahead of it. No, it used to be closer, no earlier than the 8th or 10th of April. Because I remember going to spring training games when the Yankees played in Fort Lauderdale as late as April 1st or 2nd. In fact,
Oh, wow.
the most memorable spring training game of my life was one I did not finish, and I'll tell you why. March 31st, 1981. And the Yankees are playing the Dodgers. It is a big event because even though it's an exhibition game, it's the Yankees and the frickin' Dodgers in Fort Lauderdale. So the Dodgers always sent their best team. And around the 5th inning of that game, there's a buzz going through the crowd, and it's growing like a wave. And
bless you,
Excuse me.
Gesundheit.
Excuse me.
It started on the right field side. We were sitting, behind the third base dugout. And finally, the word gets to us that Ronald Reagan had been shot.
Oh.
Oh.
So I was there with my newsman. We immediately left the game and drove to the radio station, called in on the hotline, and we stayed on the air until almost 10 o'clock that night when it was certain that he had survived. And again, how does that happen?
Mm-hmm.
How does that happen? I think the attempt on his life belongs in the same PSYOP Hall of Fame that so many of these others do.
Another MK Ultra guy, Pamela.
Do you want to
Look it up.
hear? You want to hear something weird? So I went back on our YouTube feed quite a ways on some of our videos because I get emails randomly that were blocked for playing some specific sound or some music or something. So I was going back and I got back to the day that Charlie Kirk was killed. and the sound is muted on our video. And we didn't even play anything that day.
You're kidding.
Mm-mm. Isn't that weird?
We did a good job that day.
Yeah, it was a
Keeping
good
up with
show.
that.
And when I got back to it, I was like, oh, this was sad, but, you know.
Well, I would tell you what I really think of YouTube, but they would probably mute our sound for this episode, so I better not.
Probably. We
Let there
can't-
be no mistake. We
Do you
love
know-
YouTubes. You guys are great.
We wouldn't stream anywhere else. But, yeah.
We hope if any YouTube executives come to Montgomery, I'll take you to dinner at the Baumhauers. It's a gesture of appreciation. So I guess it's just a matter of when the Dodgers will clinch their division.
Well,
June, July. Could be.
It was late September last year, man. They only won 94 games.
I think you guys have officially converted me into being excited about baseball.
Did you see this?
Telling you.
I really enjoyed keeping up with it last season, and now Waylon is playing baseball.
Oh,
my
there you
stepson,
go.
So
That's what it takes.
So I'm really enjoying it, and I'm excited for this season.
Well,
It's back.
that's another thing. Because if 1 year from today we're on the air and there's no baseball because there's a strike or a lockout, I will never watch another game for the rest of my life. They've already screwed me twice.
Yeah. I said
it's
that in
never been the same.
1981 and yeah.
No, that was, I get that one, but in 1994 to have played 2/3 of the season, stopped, no World Series, no anything, it's never been the same for me since. I still love it. I still pay attention. It's my distraction, but I will never forgive them for doing that.
I got
it'll never
really
be quite the same.
disenchanted with it then. I really did, but then they came back and Nolan Ryan was still pitching for the Rangers, and I had to go see Nolan Ryan's 7th no-hitter and yada yada.
Wow.
Anyway, so
And Cal Ripken was in the process of breaking a record nobody thought anybody would break.
Yeah.
2,130 consecutive games. Today, you're lucky if you can get somebody to play 200 games without having some injury or some excuse.
Hello.
David, thank you so much for your time. Will you be with us Thursday?
Absolutely. I'll be back. Ready to go.
All righty. We thank you
All right,
so much.
Have a good week.
Visit David on Substack, davidblackman.substack.com. We're so
It's
grateful.
Rick.
Rick?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Rick.
Hey, how you doing, Greg? Baseball, football, all the sports are always trying to find ways to have it safer to keep the players from getting hurt. The one thing that just really bothers me, and I got 3 grandsons playing baseball, and I love it, they still wear steel cleats.
That's a good point. Especially in Little League, they shouldn't be. There's no need for it. There are plenty of non-metallic substances that can get just as good a grip in the infield dirt or grass as steel cleats. I mean, Ty Cobb used to slash people deliberately with his cleats just to teach them, make a point with them.
Oh, a lot of folks, a lot of players have done that. Hey, Greg, I love your show. Appreciate it. Thank you. You have a great day.
I thank you for the call.
Yes, sir.
People are being nice to me today.
They are. Well, that's good. It's
It
been
is.
a rough Monday.
Well, we've had a few challenges along the way. Anyway, we are going to take our top of the hour break. We have traffic with Skipper, Wall Street Business, and Salem Radio Network News. And then I can't wait to get Brant's take on this roller coaster day on the market. That should be fun, too. 502